Something that served me well in my life is volunteering wherever I get the chance. And I didn't ever realize why. But volunteering for weird and wonderful things, like Thabiso this weekend, I spent the weekend sanding the floors at my daughter's school because the contractor evaporated and the new school floors need sanding and sealing. And me. I put my hand up and I say yes to everything. I volunteer all over the place. I give time away all over the place. And what I find is the more that I do that, the more he provides. And then I stumbled in the word across Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Who shall I send and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me." And this concept of volunteering is so interesting. No disrespect to my stepmom, but she was here the other week and she was hearing about what my wife and I have been doing for the Christian school where our kids go to school recently. We put obscene amounts of hours of energy and effort in there, and yet we always get so much more back. And she said, "Oh no, you should just buy other teachers a gift at Christmas and put a bit of cash in a pot on occasions, and that's enough." But the Lord doesn't call us to do just enough. He calls us to step forwards in his name. And so I wondered where this stepping forwards and saying, "Here I am, send me," how's it served you? And has it ever got you into trouble? I mean, those would be two great questions to play with.
It's quite amazing that you say that and how different we are as people. I got to a work setting and I always did more. And this one gentleman, I don't know why this, literally when you say that, this story came up to me again. And I know that I battled to understand why this guy said this to me, because I don't think it's a way of life, but that could also be me just being totally judgmental. But we were busy working and I was doing the work. I was doing my own work and another person's work as well. And this gentleman came to me and he was like, "Why are you doing someone else's job? They're supposed to be doing it." And I don't know why it stuck with me, but I still continued doing the other person's work though. But it stuck with me that how can this person resonate like that? How can they think that way? For me, it's almost like what you say, you go the extra mile, you volunteer. And if you can help someone out, you help someone out with everything. So I guess in that part, in a way, it got me into trouble, but it's gotten me more into a very good space than anything else. And I think what comes up to me is, of course, the times that I volunteered at church, of doing the sound at my church, but it was also a way of God busy preparing me for my future, busy preparing me for me being a DJ, busy preparing me for me having to run a desk as a radio presenter, So I learned all of those things at church by just volunteering, by just saying, "Hey, this is my time. I'm going to give it. I'll mix in the band today that's going to be doing praise and worship. And this is how I volunteer." And I love the fact that everything works together for our good. More to your point, when you say that if you put up your hand and said, "Here I am, send me," you'll see that everything works together for your good, in a sense where you did that now for your daughter's school. But I think what you should also be thinking about is you are making it a beautiful environment for kids who are going to be shaping the future of our country one day. And that is priceless. That is super priceless.
That's it. It's interesting, those people who say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It's somebody else's job," or it's management's problem. They haven't employed somebody, so we should just leave it undone. Kind of says more about them than it does about you, because Jesus wouldn't wander by and let the work remain undone because it was God's problem because he hadn't provided the person yet. How on earth do we create future opportunities for ourselves if we don't do things to get us experience and recognition as well by going outside of the box that we find ourselves in? It's just not. It's not possible. When my pastor says, "Can you preach?" I was like, "Well, I don't know whether I can preach or not, but I can stand up and talk in public about my views on God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and help some other people fall in love deeper with them at a different level." Can I do that? Yes. But how do we progress in life unless we take on more? It's ultimately everything that we want is on the other side of a heightened level of responsibility that we take. And so I just think that involves us saying, yes, send me. I'll take that heightened level of responsibility. I think it's in John where it talks about how those who preach the word will be judged at a higher level. And somebody was saying, you want to watch out for that? I said, no, bring it on. Bring it on. I want to be judged at a higher level, because at a higher level with higher level responsibilities comes higher level opportunities, higher level relationships, higher level rewards. Bring it to me. I'm here. I'm waiting. Send me. And I just think if all of us, Thabiso, how would the world be if we all just adopted a send me attitude? What difference do you think we'd notice?
I think there would be such a huge difference. It's the same question that I actually asked my wife the other day. I was asking my wife, man, imagine everybody knew God and they had an intimate relationship with God. They actually spent time with God in the Word. They prayed. Imagine what a different world this would be, right? Because just the mere thing of this happening, I got into a situation on Saturday where I was DJing and I saw one of the people that were at the place being rude with a waiter. So I literally got that Lord send me attitude to go and help out on the situation, because I thought it was very unfair, but I had to do it in a very loving way. Right. And I went to the guy and I tried to explain to him what the two, or how two different cultures can see this as maybe right or wrong. And I had to basically, in a very loving way, in a very godly way, explain that to him. So much so that this guy's sister came to me afterwards and told me that, hey man, you were actually 100% right. This guy's dad is a pastor, and you were correct in the way of handling how you handled the situation. It was in such a loving way. And it's to your point, Rob, I think we would be in such a because it didn't end up in a fight. It didn't end up in anything else but that guy understanding. And I believe that he went away there thinking to himself, hey man, flip, I was wrong. And for me, that is dealing with something in love. And I think if we can also get that across in dealing with things in love, we would have such a different world and such a different setting in workplaces, within our businesses as well.
So I wonder, for those who are listening, what is it that you're avoiding in terms of the send me? Are you trying to transact your way into your future, which is, I'll do this if you give me that, and unless you give me that, I won't do this? So that's very interesting, but that goes against Isaiah 6:8, which is just send me, right? If you read Isaiah 6, it's not, you can send me and I'll go if you give me ... It's just send me regardless. Send me out of love. Send me out of prosperity. Send me out of opportunity. Send me to grow me. Just send me and I will do it for you. And in faith, I will trust that everything else comes afterwards. And, I did a coaching session with somebody the other week, and we were unpacking how they pray. And one of the things we found is they're praying, Lord, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. I was like, whoa, there's the problem. You're trying to like hustle the big man in terms of,
negotiate with God.
Negotiate with God, like, God, I'm all this. So if I do this, you need to give me that. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You can't go to the president of the country and do that, let alone God. You can't go to a billionaire and do that, let alone God. Like, the only way of doing this is, Lord, I'll do this for me and show me your love in return. That's it. You can ask separately for things that you would like to experience in your life: healing, happiness, prosperity, possessions, relationships, whatever it may well be. But in that moment, it is, I will do this for you, and I'll trust that everything else will come. And that really is our definition of faith, is to let go of the transactionalism of, I want this in return for that, and just do that and volunteer for yourself. Send me. Thabiso, if you had one piece of advice for a business owner around there today in the end of 2024, start of 2025, what would your one piece of advice be for them?
Man, I would say definitely through what we've said, and we've said it in one of our previous episodes as well, is that what does God want me to do? Like that should be the main thing of going into any decision, going into any meeting, going into any investment that you're going to make, going into any huge decision that you have to make for your business. Is literally what does God want me to do, and to take time at that, to go and sit at his feet. And that means for you to pray, for you to go meditate on his word and really find out what he wants you to do. Because one thing that I've realized this year is God is so audible. He is so, man, you can clearly hear him on what decisions to make or which way to go and what to do. But of course, you have to quiet the noise outside, because it's very noisy outside. You have to quiet the noise outside and take time and go spend time with him.